I'm Brian Posehn. You may know me from my stand-up comedy, or from the TV shows I've been on, like the Sarah Silverman program. I love comic books, metal, and anything nerdy, except furries. They're gross. But that does include Dungeons & Dragons, which I've been playing with the same group of my funny friends for a decade now. So we decided to record us playing the game and turn it into a podcast, and we call it...
Nerd Poker. Dungeons & Dragons with Brian Posehn and friends.
Blaine!
Ken!
Sarah!
Sark! Don't forget Gerry!
Hi, I'm Brian Posehn. You're listening to episode 34 of Nerd Poker, Dungeons & Dragons with Brian Posehn and friends. Hi, friends.
Hi, Brian Posehn.
Friends. Gerry, again, not here. Hopefully on his way home from New Jersey. We had to play without him. There was no other time to do this. Last week...
Yeah, so Sir Richard's going to be played again by myself.
Now we're doing an Elvis
We're
thing.
not
So.
playing at all.
Sounds like he's being played by Charles Grodin.
It's just, I got to get right up in the mic and then sound just really low and tired. That's Gerry to me.
I always thought Gerry had good mic technique.
But last week, we stuck around on the ship.
Last week we hit an inevitable Dungeons & Dragons doldrums.
Yeah.
It happens. The party, but we just got done. Actually, we just had a little powwow, and these guys, put together a few good ideas. Actually, I think they felt a little lost in the sort of the large scale of things, and they'd made some decisions in a hustle a few episodes ago that left them in a really, like somebody you mentioned on the message boards had said, they were like, of all the things they could do, this was the worst. Which may be true, but it wasn't, I don't know, it depends on your point of view. So I think that...
Well, I'm sure you had something in mind that would have gotten cool, but it took us... kind of going nuts and just running through.
Well, it would. It all depends. It all
depends.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything leads to different paths. So
I was
you being
willing
on
to
that
do
ship,
but I know no one else wanted to, and I didn't want to go rogue. I didn't want to just fucking run around and be a retard and then have my character die.
So yeah, the staying on board the ship, I think, will as a sort of the stowaway or the keeping the low profile. The outlook doesn't seem good down that road. The ship definitely is going to require a more blunt force attack. But you guys came up with some alternate ideas that are actually more suitable to you and your guerrilla warfare against this greater enemy. And I'm not exactly sure which one of these options you were going to go with. But to catch you up, last week in our incredibly boring episode, we had all gotten together, decided to hide, and then I say we because I'm playing Sir Richard, and then we'd hidden for about 18 hours.
And then I
subdued a guard.
And then I went out looking for an ice machine.
Blackie went out for 30 seconds and changed his mind and came back, and that was about our episode. So now...
he canoodled with a hostage also.
Yeah, he snuggled up with...
I'd like to think that she was played by Meredith Baxter Burney in her pre-lesbian days.
So now you guys
ever pre-lesbian
are back on the skiff. We are back on the skiff. You have a hostage, a guard, one of the armored broadsword wielding guards that you've subdued and disarmed. You have a woman, presumably a clone or a duplicate, who is wearing a white robes. You're not sure if was made or her job is to help around the ship, or if she was on her way to be dropped off in place of her original or what. But she's here. Neither of them speak common, and she seems almost... she has some sort of almost robotic... She's not a robot, she's a human, but she has some tics and tendencies that make her seem like she might not all be there upstairs. And that was where we left off. So you guys had come up with some good ideas, and I wasn't sure where you wanted to head. So let's.
Well,
I assume we're not going to keep hiding.
Somebody
though.
jump in.
I think we said we were gonna jump to where the collector's home area, where we know this ship is headed slowly.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So
Skiff?
And that puts you, because the issue is, you know that it's at least a week, because you waited that long for this blip on the radar to get there. It's at least a week for this thing to get home. It doesn't jump for whatever reason. Maybe it's too big. Maybe there's shit on board that can't, or is volatile or something. But you guys, with Stargoyle's help, have sort of triangulated approximately where it seems like all these big ships seem to be coming from. So you want to try and jump there and see. Okay.
We'll call it collector home.
You can be there in about 20 seconds.
Love it.
Let's do that. Are we taking these two people with us? Or
Well, that was what my next question. You have
do I
two.
take the guard off and keep her?
No, we keep them both.
We can't put them
don't
back.
need to tell anybody anything.
Yeah, so we either have to.
Well, I didn't mean I kicked
Unless
them
you-
off alive.
Unless you
kick
bite
them
their
out
tongues
the
out.
airlock. I see. Yeah, I'm not comfortable killing an unarmed person, but at the same time we
take 'em.
can't. Well, I guess we can take them, but they're going to become a liability at some point. But that's fine. I guess they're tied up for
I'm
now.
totally fine with slitting his throat and throwing him out the door.
You do you.
That-
You know,
I'm gonna
You
be
just-
on-
you just,
Which has also come up. We may have to talk about your alignment.
But my alignment in real life
is not your character's alignment. But yeah, no, yeah. Hey, if that's what you want to do.
my alignment is turning my back.
I think
on
maybe
whatever's
Amarth has changed a little.
Yeah, he's hesitating, which certainly would never.
I can't tell if
I
it's,
think these two folks can come in useful, possibly on the home world.
all right.
Or
Oh yeah, we could
or
use one of them
home
to
zone,
control an
whatever it is.
elevator for sure.
Control an elevator, or give us a little guidance as to where we're going.
for now.
Okay.
we never killed women on Glenishmore.
Oh my god.
God, it's like the wet blanket's right here with us.
Okay, so you're keeping an eye on them. They are at this point. It's been like an hour.
I
so.
roll.
I'm assuming they're tied up.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Neither of them should
Mark
be.
can just sit on them if you want.
Yeah.
It should be noted as put up any kind of shadiness or like attempts to escape. So
Good.
the woman is sitting there though, almost like sort of doe-eyed, like just watching things happen, and the guard is definitely alert. So he's
So they're
keeping an eye on things.
They're just
so.
waiting to fuck us up.
Well, she just seems to be on autopilot a little bit, but he seems more. His behavior is more appropriate for somebody who's been disarmed, choked out, and thrown in the back of a ship and tied up. So
Tell him he's lucky.
And off we go.
yep. All right, back on board. All right, you break loose the docking contact between you and the Titanic collector mothership, and Stargoyle, and you punch in on the panel the coordinates for this, whatever this spot in space is, given a decent, like a healthy margin in case because you're not sure what it is.
Yeah.
So you give it a little bit of a buffer. Plug it in. Fly. You buzz away from the big ship, and as you're like pushing the go button, you see a bunch of other skiffs breaking loose, like they were just now. Now that they've seen you, like an unscheduled takeoff, they're coming out to check on things. But you have everything wired to jump. So
All right.
Yeah.
Is somebody down in the turret?
not at the moment.
Sure, I'll
Do
get
we
down
have
there.
one?
Yeah, there's a belly turret.
All right. I'll go.
All right, go ahead.
And jump.
You won't fit. We already
yeah.
tried this. You
Oh,
could
yeah, I
fit
don't know
one
if-
butt cheek
I
in
don't know
there.
if I'll fit either.
Yeah, you're humanoid
Yeah,
size,
okay,
so
okay.
you can get in there.
All right.
All right. So you hop down into the dome. Now you guys have messed around with that over time. You've spent a lot of time in here, but it's only there's something about its like Stargoyle has to sort of be part of the activation of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So this time you hop in. There's communication made. You and Stargoyle sort of chit-chat and make him aware that Bart's in there, and it immediately spins up. The barrel of the gun dislodges from the underbelly of the ship, and you're good to go.
Groovy.
You hit the go button. This space right in front of the ship just rips like a sheet of paper. Inside is just roiling energy and nebula-like gas, and the ship just drifts through. It seals shut.
That wouldn't happen to be phlogiston, was it?
For a second, it just looks like you're in the middle of like this weird, chaotic space storm, and then it just sort of fades away as the jump concludes. And you see your destination in front of you. All you see is from here, though, is a partially eclipsed sun, huge red orb of a sun, partially eclipsed by some planetary body between you and it. That planetary body is what has been marked on the chart. Yeah.
All right.
Don't see. It's just dark. You can't see any features. The only way you'd even know it was there is because part of it is sort of aligned with the giant star that it orbits. So
just got a text from Gerry. Let's see when it was. Oh, just like 10 minutes ago. Landed. Have to get a dog before they close. Don't kill Richard.
That chili stew.
Now we have to kill Richard, I guess.
Don't kill Richard.
All right.
So we'll kick him out the airlock.
Yeah. He's going to try and swim to the planet.
All right.
So yeah, you've materialized a decent distance from this, but easily enough covered by the sort of normal engines of the ship.
Is there any sort of scanning going on with the ship's map or anything that's giving us more information about that?
No, I mean, other than it now being marked with just a dot on your little rewriting map chart, it doesn't seem to be anything that has been charted before.
Should we go in for a closer look?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sulu, ahead. 1/3 impulse.
All right. So you start moving towards the this dark planet, and you see as you get closer and closer, you see the faint sort of halo of an atmosphere around it, sort of grayish, almost like smog-like, even from this distance.
How large does this planet seem to us, based on what we've seen before?
It seems it's hard to tell because you're not spacefarers, so it's hard. It's hard to tell because you don't know how far away you are from it. It looks massive, but you can't tell if you're. You can, Blackie, but the rest of you guys can't tell just by looking out the window.
How big do you think it is, Blackie?
How big do I think it is, Black Eye?
I think Black Eye Green.
Black Eye.
You sort of just eyeballing it and checking the chart to see how far you are from it. It looks like it's about 8 times across what that gas giant you were just on was.
Wow, okay.
So it's some massive world. But you're still a little, it's still a little unusual that from here, as you guys get closer, that you can't see there's no light or... admittedly, you're sort of on the dark side at this point, is on the approach, but there's like no distinguishing features on this thing. You looking at the chart, you see all those big ships that you'd been tracking, including the one that you just left. About half of them now have turned and are sort of headed back, like the one you were on was. And the rest of them seem to either be stationary or still heading to a spot, but it looks like none of those big ships, at least on your map, will be back for at least a week. So,
should we try and head to the lit side of this?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't want it to get all Riddick.
All right, so you guys...
You mean not as good as the first one?
You guys keep moving. You guys keep drifting forward. You're trying to get some idea. You're sort of skirting around the edge to try and get eyes on the surface of this thing. You get up to the point where it basically fills your windows. And the surface just seems just gray and smooth, as if sort of like looking at our moon. Mm-hmm. But instead of being lit by the reflected light of our sun, it's this sort of dismal red hue. And the surface of this thing is just this sort of reddish gray, and it's just smooth. You see no mountains, no oceans. And you can only see at this point a crescent of it as you're sort of coming around the edge. But you do see as you get closer and closer, the sort of the atmosphere seems to be this sort of roiling gray, almost like a fog.
What a shithole.
Yeah. So should we get in close? Should we get closer to the surface?
What do you think the rent is here? Yeah, let's go down. There's no sign of any sort of other ships or anything?
Not yet.
And this roiling, does it seem like a storm of some kind, or
no? It doesn't seem like a storm. It doesn't seem like fully natural, though. Like the wind is.
The whole thing is synthetic somehow. Just because of this.
You guys continue to sort of approach and skirt around, trying to get eyes on more of the surface. And the closer and closer you get, are you gonna you get well into the sort of the atmosphere, and you can see from up front, looking out of the windows and through the belly, you see the air almost like it's like Christmas candle or like candles that have been blown. It's like wisps of smoke, and you can't tell if it's some type of post fire or if it's ashy or anything.
Should we pull up the guard and show him where we're going and ask him any questions about it, like where to park or where to park? I mean, where to land.
There may be something inside. This might be like a shell, and inside there's something, or
it could be a Dyson sphere. There, I said it, Dyson sphere.
Yeah, we can
somebody
gesture.
Use some charisma and talk to him.
You're still several.
I lift him up and go, let's get him to talk.
And you're still probably like 70, 80, 100,000 feet up.
So we can still get a little closer, maybe too.
Okay. Yeah, so you're still like you're not in space, but you're like really high altitude.
I kind of give him a look alive, and I fucking lift him up. And
you fucking lift him up?
That's how barbarians do it.
I'm changing my alignment.
So you press his face up against one of or maybe over the edge of the floor of looking down past Bart and the belly gunner. He turns white as a sheet. And just starts backpedaling, like scrabbling, crawling back towards where he was.
Looks like we've picked a good place to go.
You guys had him sitting. He's not, or was he still tied up? Did you just have him? You just hoisted him over. All right, so then he just is squirming and writhing, trying to get back.
So we do some charades.
He looks absolutely.
What is up here? What do you see with your eyes? That it has you so scared. I do all that.
Right.
He's acting scared?
Like charades.
Like terrified. Like this is...
Are his hands free to be able to gesture?
I think he's pretty much mummified.
He needs to be able to... We remove his sword and stuff, right?
If only somebody had high charisma, they could ask him why he's scared.
So he's freaking out. He actually comes at you like he's trying to headbutt you.
I do it first.
So we're not asking him anything.
Well, he came at me.
He's tied up.
It doesn't matter what my fucking alignment is. If somebody comes at me,
he hops up. Yeah, he hops
he does like a
pogo stick. With
you could have just pushed him down on the ground.
He can't speak the language anyways.
I didn't say I killed him. I just
your head is gigantic.
Now I'm wondering if this planet is destroyed and they were fleeing the planet and trying to repopulate.
No, because some of them are coming back, right?
Well, maybe they're chasing us.
10.
I don't think
10.
Well, maybe.
And then what's your strength bonus?
On
up top left.
Yeah, because it's not on a melee attack or anything.
Here, 7. So right here.
Okay.
So that's 10, 17. All right, and then roll 1d6. No, 1d4. And then add your strength bonus to that. So 2, 7, 9. All right, so he's not panicked beyond reason. So he it's not like he's just flipping out. He gets terrified. He starts to try and back up, and when he realizes like he's so confined, he actually comes at you as if he's trying to like headbutt you in the chin. And you counter headbutt and just like driving a nail. It's like conk. So he lays there. He's a little too like dazed to continue freaking out, but he's still got his he's still conscious.
Good.
He's laying on the floor now with like a big old like split in his forehead.
Can I walk a dummy?
Where you head punched him.
Can I walk the little dummy girl over to the window and be like, "Hey, what do you see?"
So she looks out the window and she may as well be looking into like a shop full of candy.
Useless.
Like
Candy.
As you guys continue to descend, the atmosphere gets thicker, more gusty. But it's not until you're still about maybe 15, 20 minutes from, at this rate, like hitting the surface, that you notice the first irregularity on the surface that you've seen. So now you're at an altitude like a little lower than our airlines max out at. You're up at like 25,000 feet. You can see the ground a little more clearly. It still seems just polished smooth though. But coming over the horizon, as you cross this height, you see sort of materializing through the fog way down below you. You see what looks like a massive tower. Looks like a single, like a castle tower. But it's huge. It must be 9,000 feet tall. Just a massive, and it's pointed as you sort of offhandedly notice, Blackie. It's pointed directly at the red star, which occupies like a good 1/8 of the sky up there.
Does the tower look like it's smooth or brickwork or what?
Can't tell. Okay. It looks like it's made out of stone, but that's probably just because that's the only familiar thing you've seen down here. But it's the size is sort of deceiving because it looks like you're standing outside of a castle looking at it, but you're miles and miles from it.
Does it look like it'd be like directing the light from the sun?
You can't tell if it has something to do, if it's just
is the end of it hollow, or is there anything coming out of it?
You can't tell from here. Yeah.
Let's go in.
It literally looks like a rook, like a chess rook, but a little bit taller and slender and huge.
You want to fly down the barrel?
Let's just keep approaching, right? What else are we going to do?
Yeah, let's just keep going towards it.
Okay.
I mean, I hope it's not some sort of sun cannon.
So you guys continue moving on. As you get closer, you see that a lot of out of the top of the thing, almost like a smokestack, is pumping this sort of steam or vapor that seems to be, it's just belching it sort of out and up over the edges. And but it's not until you get a little bit lower that you see the thing that really sends a chill up your spine. And that is the ground, which seemed to be like some type of gray stone or like a marble or something, is finally you've gotten low enough now for it to resolve, and you've gotten through enough of the atmosphere that you can see it, and you see that the at least as far as you can tell from here, the entire surface is just looks like it's just made up of twisted, naked, gnarled corpses, just spread for hundreds of miles.
Cool.
In every direction that you can see from here.
It's planet hell.
Wow.
Can I see my house from up here?
So it looks like one of my albums.
Right.
Human corpses?
It's hard to tell, but the humanoid.
Yeah.
But it's like millions of them. So.
Well, I mean, let's just fly in as close as possible, like buzz this planet and see what we see, right? I mean, maybe there's an maybe there is an entrance inside, and if not, we'll at least maybe see what caused this.
Yeah, there's some kind of weird. I don't know if it's like a cordwood situation where.
Yeah, it's fuel probably, and that's the smokestack. I have no fucking idea. Okay.
Yeah, this looks like maybe where some of these ships might offload loads of the dead originals. If they, because you never tracked them all the way from the dreadnought onto the mothership, but you didn't see those bodies go anywhere. This is just like naked.
So they're just like dumping the bodies?
Naked corpses.
Are they just laying there? There doesn't look like they're transported to they're just laying on the ground?
Yeah.
So could just be like dump.
But it's huge, so it's sort of, at this point, it's like Jupiter size, so this thing is actually might have formed its own gravity even, and it's just holding.
And we don't see any cities or any.
Only this tower right now.
So should we get closer and closer to the tower?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go in and see if there's something at the base of the tower.
All right, so you fly in, and it just seems you can't hear anything from outside. In here, just the sort of the hum of the skiff working and the occasional chitter from Stargoyle, and maybe some panicked panting from the head-butted guard. But you guys, the skiff eventually gets low enough to where you're just skimming over the surface. Hear it, and now it looks like really a scene out of a nightmare where it's just busted hands and parts of bodies sticking up elbow and leg length as you guys sort of hum across the surface. In the distance, the tower just looms. It's just huge. You sort of approach. There's not any paths or roads sort of beaten down or trampled through these corpses, but from this pace and from the belly gun area, you can see that you do see there's dwarvish, elves, there's creatures that things you can't even identify that are twisted up in there. Dragonborn, everything. As you guys are skating along, covering hundreds of miles across the surface of this thing. Eventually you get to the point where you're now within sort of relative spitting distance of the tower. It looks like there's no activity, there's no movement other than the just sort of pumping out of vapor and smoke out the top. And as you guys sort of cautiously approach, expecting sort of the worst, doesn't seem like anything happens. You get up to the tower, and you see it seems to not be built on the bodies. It seems to come up through the bodies. And you see, just studying the outside, little, like thousands of little docking rings. So it looks like ships actually use this to hook up to. So
let's pick one.
Yep.
Okay. Do we want to pick one down towards the bottom?
Sure.
So that we don't have to fight our way down through thousands of these things?
That makes sense.
All right. All right. So you're basically bottom floor. You're on floor 1. You find the lowest docking ring that you can, and gently connect the ship up to it.
Is Stargoyle giving me any sort of like spider sense indication that we shouldn't be doing this, or we should?
No, he's gotten. He's still making his little squeaks and pops, but he's gotten actually a little more somber once the realization of what this planet is.
Let's take a break and head in there. And we're back. Hey, what was that break brought to you by, Blaine?
Oh, hey, it's me, Arthur Fonzarelli, the Fonz. Whoa! Hey, I know they have a lot of problem with their stance on homosexuality, but if you want something delicious, try the waffle fries at Chick-fil-A. Whoa! Back to you, Brian Posehn, and Nerd poker friends. Whoa.
The Fonz is not afraid of controversy,
No.
but he loves fucking waffle fries.
Very David Lynchian, this Fonz, huh?
Yeah. Doesn't remind me really of the Fonz I grew up with, but maybe he's...
He just wants to say "a" every opportunity he gets.
All right, so you guys docked at this new location. This place seems this is very disconcerting though. This entire area, it's big and disgusting and gross, but it also seems like there's nobody home. Like there's no ships.
Nobody
docked.
home.
So
Nobody home.
You're gonna leave your name. You're gonna leave your number. Wait for the beep.
Gotta leave your name. We gotta leave your number.
So,
God.
Brian's appalled.
It's 40 years ago.
Was there like a Rapid Ronnie one or?
There was that too, but there was the
That guy got no
rapping
respect.
phone message you could buy from
Yeah. All right.
phone messages, tapes.
All right.
That you could record. And
Oh,
put
yeah.
on your answering machine.
Oh no!
All the
I
people that
remember
recorded
yeah.
those things are dead now. That's
I'm just
weird to
telling
think
everyone
about.
who's never heard of such things as an answering machine.
Well, yeah. So you had a machine that you would actually plug into your phone. It was a separate thing.
With
Don't
a
even
cassette,
get-
with a cassette tape
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Some were cassette sized. Then there was like the micro cassette, and then there was one where it would
Ooh,
actually
you're fancy.
save the memory on some sort of not hard drive, but some little chip.
Them was the days.
Yeah.
But
And you could
people
get-
see this in movies. Come
You
on.
could get cassette tapes of, I think on The Simpsons, an episode that's like fucking 25 years old or however long it's been on TV. Hey, he has one. He has a funny tape.
Well, it really changed how you had to deliver like information in movies, though, because if you watch old movies, like people would screen their calls out loud so everyone in the house could hear it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you could just hear
Hey, I
yourself.
killed that guy, Frank. The body's in my trunk. The last four numbers of my social are 3728. Call me back.
Yeah, like that.
Hey, it's me again. Did you call me back? I don't know how this works. Did it work? The body's in my trunk.
Well, what did your answering machine used to say while we're on this? Do you
Oh, we
remember?
did dumb ones. I don't remember.
All kinds of shit.
Yeah, you change them all the time, too, and
No.
try to be funny every time, and they often weren't.
You know, I miss doing this.
You used to do a lot of them. I feel like you did them more than any of us.
Yeah, I
like
did.
Pointing at Blaine.
you-
I always
Blaine.
change my message, but my favorite answering machine message was I would record myself going like this. It would ring a couple times. I would go, "Hello." It sounded like I just woke up, and everybody
yeah,
would leave
dude.
messages apologizing. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I thought I would. You asshole! I miss doing that.
That was the fake out was a big one that
Classic.
people did. Yeah, a lot of people did that. Just over and over.
My mom's
Like
voicemail
you-
still sounds like that. She just sounds angry, like, hello.
Like you do a fake, like, hello, and then they'd say, oh hey man, well and then you'd go, you're listening to a tape, blue message. I burned you and I can't even enjoy it.
Mine was Predator, Arnold under the log, the sharpened log at the end. So it would the phone would ring and then it would pick up and it would just go, come on. What are you waiting for? I'm here. Do it. Do it now. I'm here. Kill me now. Boop.
Was that Bruce
Oh yeah,
like,
a lot of
where's that
movie.
from?
We did a lot of like movie.
So why were you doing Jerry for your phone message?
Did I nail Jerry right there?
No.
God, my impressions. Best.
Van Damme,
Phone
go.
messages.
You've seen enough Van Damme movies to have a Van Damme impression.
My mother called me Chance. Why?
Jesus.
Because she took one.
That was Van Damme good.
That was the chef in Little Mermaid.
Martin Lawrence and Bad Boys 2.
Martin Lawrence and Bad Boys 2. Woosah! You gotta calm down. I can't.
Woosa.
Let's take
I use that when I'm stressed out on the 405.
sounds the same.
Woosa.
Woosah. I was texting you to woosah the other day because you were raging at me for something on the text message. I was like, you got to woosah.
I think I was raging at you about fucking Bad Boys
Yeah, you
2.
were.
Because I know you love it. And I watch it like every other year to remind myself how much I hate it.
It's a fucking action magnum opus. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, no, the fucking set pieces are amazing.
Yeah.
But fuck you if you like Bad Boys 2. It's terrible.
All right.
Body Planet.
Body Planet.
Body Planet.
All right.
The bodies hit
So
the
now
planet.
you are. Where were we? You've docked on this tower.
Yes,
Was
we
that-
docked
Did we
low.
just really do answering machines? We did, huh?
Yeah,
That was,
it was
I
fun.
thought for a second I dreamed that.
I didn't do any of mine, and I'm not gonna.
Oh, you had good ones.
Yeah,
Oh, here we go. We got to get one can answering machine.
That's all right.
I did. One was what the fuck? I just remembered it ended. I have no idea why I did this, but it was Beauty and the Beast. It was Angela Lansbury as the teapot, and it was. Ken is not at home. Leave it at the tone. Beauty and the Beast.
But you sang the whole. You did the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing just
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's really good.
Is it?
I liked it.
Yeah,
Body
I like
Planet.
That was a perfect Angela
I liked
Lansbury.
it too.
Okay, so we dock and we
Yeah. So you've docked at this weird place, and now it's time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
climb off the ship.
All right, so halfway expecting the sort of bland, sort of roughly hewn together metallic interiors that you've come to be familiar with from the collectors. You're surprised when you open the hatch and you see that the interior seems to be made out of the same sort of, it looks like stone, just ebony, mirror shine stone.
Something
Ivory.
else too?
The hallway is like super dark. There's little recesses in the walls that sort of glow red, that sort of mirror the light outside from the sun.
Cold, warm, room temperature.
No, yeah, room temperature, yeah, normal. But just like really dark and sort of gothic in here. And you see, there's nothing that's sort of thrown together. This place is seems like was assembled ages and ages ago. Even on the hallway, as you enter, there's a floor to ceiling and 8 foot with a ornate frame. There's a painting of an old man. He seems to be standing there, and he's
What?
in a regal pose.
Is it the tall man?
What? Really?
Yeah.
What does he look like? How's he dressed?
So he's dressed. He's wearing a fine coat. He's dressed like a really rich. It looks like a king in his hunting, he's in his gear for the hunt. He's got in the painting. He's kind of got his one leg up on a stool, and he looks all regal. The one thing that sort of throws you off, though, is he's carrying a waist high. His hand is resting on this waist high staff, and the top of the staff is twisted up into a skull, which sort of pings with you, Blackie, as a possible sign of this necromancy, that there's a connection somehow with this staff and maybe this guy and with what's going on. But
Interesting. Okay. All right.
and that's the hallway out of where you docked. It literally extends about 20 feet, and there's the painting, and then it branches to either side of the painting. So on the map, it looks like a tuning fork, like you have a left and a right down either side of this thing. And this is you guys peering out of the.
Let's go, right? I mean,
Yeah, let's try to figure out how we're gonna. Can I have Stargoyle just go? Hey, can you sort of keep a GPS lock, put a little pin down, drop a pin on the map, back to the ship here,
Yeah.
and come
He
with us.
taps his head with his little silhouetted fist.
You'll remember how to get back here, right?
This is
No
what
matter where we go.
graph paper's for.
Yeah.
10 feet to a square.
And your guys' natural adventurer's sense of direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you start to really get turned around, I'll give you a heads up. But for now,
So let's go check. I mean, right? Let's go check it out.
It's just like a painting on the wall.
Yeah.
This is
So
weird.
weird,
As
yeah.
shit.
That's
Let's go.
really
Let's
fucking
go.
weird.
Totally different than anything you've seen so far.
What if we burn the painting?
As you
Let's go examine it for sure.
As you move
Examine
up to the painting, and
to life.
you're looking at it, it seems, it's got the eyes seem to follow you, but they're not really. it's unnerving.
creepy.
The whole place
it
is
signed?
This is like that night we spent in Uncle Giggle's mansion.
yeah. While you're looking at it and you sort of popping your head around left and right to look down either those two halls down either side of beyond the painting, you see these passages with the sort of pulsing, flickering red recessed. It's like candles, but there's no candle there. It's just a little recess, and the light sort of just emanates out from it. Definitely magic in nature. Looking down these halls, they extend. It looks like they extend to infinity, but you know that it's a sort of a trick of the eyes because of the way the mirrors, the floor sort of mirrors the lighting and everything. But it definitely goes for a little while, and it's dozens of paintings, these huge paintings down the inside wall. So you've got the painting that you saw right in front of you, and then around either side of that, just paintings down.
All different.
Yeah.
Let's look at them.
Far more
let's look at a
interesting than the
couple.
last episode.
Finally, we're going to a museum. Just what everyone wants.
And are there nameplates on the paintings or anything? Sort of
Employee
writing
of
on
the
them?
month.
No names, and they haven't been signed.
Not signed.
And these paintings, as you sort of you're keeping definitely. I mean, you're ready to go at the drop of a hat.
Wait, is this a Dorian Gray thing? Is it the same guy?
Yeah,
who
that's
did
what I was
it?
about to
That's why I
say,
said I
they're-
wanted to burn the fucking
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Well, you at first you're also should we all stick together? Yeah, I think we should stick together.
Yeah.
Totally stick together.
Yes, sir.
So you can go off by yourself.
For Glenishmore.
So
together is what
at
good
first
waffles do.
you are a little nervous about splitting up, so you all sort of pick a side and eventually walk down. And you see that after 50 feet or so, there is little crossovers between the two parallel halls. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it actually does start to feel like a gallery
And
or like a museum.
we're on the ground
sort of.
floor of this thing? Or
Yeah, and this is just where
floor.
as
where
you
we docked, right?
yeah, as you move in, you see side tunnels branching out opposite the paintings. You haven't gone down any of those, but presumably they lead to more docking areas. You haven't found where there's an actual. You're expecting a lift, like you've seen so far in this stuff, but you haven't found that yet.
So what are the paintings?
So the paintings, it's a mix. You guys have seen, as you sort of just move past them, you see stuff that ranges from pictures of the tower, but the tower looks taller, and it actually has like ramparts on both ends. It looks like almost like it's sitting on a pond or a mirror. It's hard to tell, but it's really extended and long and double-sided, and pumping vapor out of each end. It looks like, so it's very like symmetrical. You see pictures of the paintings of the sun and the fire, and probably every fourth painting is a picture of this old guy. Some he looks a little younger, and some he looks a little older, but it's pretty clearly the same person, or different versions of the same person. You're not sure now because there's so much sort of duplication going on.
Is the clothing always similar? It seems like the same era.
No,
period.
so it varies wildly. One in particular, you notice that there's a picture of him, and he's looking skyward, and he has his palms pointed up. And in front of him is a like an altar, and piled on the altar are bodies, male, female, and also non-human. And this sort of smoke vapor is rising up out of this, and it's going into his like mouth, like, so he's looking up, and it's like he's huffing the
Huffing souls.
the scent. Yeah.
He's weird.
You do see stuff that connects. So there's one painting that depicts him sitting on what looks like makes him look like he's a giant. So he's sitting on like millions of, as if he's supported by tons of tiny little robed collector figures. And you sort of mentally hope that that's not to scale, or that's just for the sake of being awesome in the painting. But yeah, it seems to be very, very death and necromancy centered. And this whoever this guy is seems to be at least from the at first blush, seems to be sort of like the guy in charge.
I would think it would be like Asmodeus or something like that. You know what I mean? Some sort of trans-dimensional hell thing. But this is all warlock stuff too. This is all like
it does as you see more and more. It's hard
magic.
to tell because some of it is
all death magic.
Literal and some of it's figurative. But it does sort of, as you walk past a bunch of these and even loop back through the little crossover halls, it does sort of start to paint a little bit of a picture for you guys of what went on at this place.
What is that picture?
So, there's a couple pictures of, there's a triangle, which bears some resemblance to the ship that you just vacated. And it's cascading corpses, down. And, it looks like at one point the corpses were just started to, pile up here. This became like a dump around the sort of center of the tower, and it eventually was turned into this planet of bodies around this tower. So it looks like the tower actually extends clear through the center.
So the tower predated the bodies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking terrible.
Let's take a break and figure this out.
All right.
And we're back.
And we're black.
And we're back.
Yes, you
And
guys
we're back.
You guys are roaming this gothic museum of nightmares.
Yeah, it's a fucking terrible place.
Very masturbatory in here. This guy seems to be the focus.
Right.
Is there any up or down stairs or
No, so you guys continue moving, and eventually it seems the paintings almost like they're there to greet people that are disembarking, or to say farewell to those who are embarking. The paintings stop at a certain point. And as you get to closer to or not closer to the center of the tower's massive, but as you get further into the tower, you do come across a circular column that seems to be, at first it's so big it just looks like a pillar. But upon sort of a brief examination, you notice that it does look like this is one of the piston-like lifts. And looking down the hall, you can see there's a series of these. So apparently this is meant to move a lot of people. So it's like one elevator
Corpses or live
No,
people?
just so that one lift may not be enough to, you'd have to wait forever. Okay. But it looks like there's a series of about, at least what you can see, about 8 of them in a row.
So basically this pillar is infinitely wide. Because it has all these long hallways down going in every direction.
Not infinite, but it's just really big.
Pretty big.
Yeah.
So should we try to go down? Because if this is a two-sided structure that goes down.
The center is probably.
Yeah, let's try to go the center
or
down.
Do we go up?
I would think down, right? If it's
Oh, wait. But if Jerry's saying maybe up.
No, I just want to know which way do you guys think we go? Well, I'm gonna ask Bahamut what he says.
You don't want to separate.
Bahamut doesn't tell me anything.
Mark calling Bahamut. Come in, Bahamut.
Let's
down
go down.
is good.
Yeah.
All right.
Ken and I
really don't like this place.
Yeah, Ken and I were saying this place off air. This kind of reminds us of the Phantasm series of movies, and our DM has definitely seen them. So. He's seen all 4. I've only seen the first 2.
I don't remember any tufts in Phantasm.
Yeah.
No, that's Larry Niven, Integral Trees. Yeah. Somebody on the forums guessed that one. Right? Yeah.
It didn't start getting good till French Stewart came in.
All right. Well, it's
Wait, what do you think that we're talking about?
I'm 10 minutes ago. I'm so tired.
Blaine's a new dad.
This
Same as an old dad.
Sleep deprived. So you guys get on the lift, and you know that this place can't be completely uninhabited. But so far, you haven't heard. Yeah, you haven't heard any signs. So right now, you have the same sort of anticipation that like Gandalf had when he went into Moria, where he knows there's shit in there, and he's just hoping to be able to get through.
Spoiler!
So yeah, you guys, what are the hostages being drug along with you? Or
I figured we'd leave unless we needed one of them to control the elevator.
So that you've come up against that now. You're not like you're only a 10-minute walk at this point from the skiff, but you are up against an elevator, and it actually does seem beneficial to have somebody there that may be able to call the elevator to you. So, which one would you? Oh, you brought them both with you. Or did we bring both of them with us? Or
I don't think we decided. I knew we might need them for the elevator, but I don't think we.
I would have brought both of them with us.
Yeah, okay. Both with us.
All right.
So let's try and see if the guard will call.
So we're gonna gesture.
Just point at it and point down.
Yeah.
All right. The guard is the girl is keeping pace. You got keeping half an eye on her, but the guard is really reluctant to move into this space.
All right, I make a gesture.
All right. The guard he looks at you terrified. You're not sure which he's more terrified of, you or this place. But a second later, almost invisibly, the sort of mirror sheen of the column starts to shift. And you see this lift in particular lowering. So you wait for a little while, and it drops down, to floor level and pauses, like flush with the floor. Peeking up through the shaft that it just cleared, you see it just the dim sort of red light of other floors just repeated. It's like looking into the Darth, like the Death Star shaft. It just goes up and up and up and up and up.
That's a bad mother.
Shut your mouth.
I'm just talking about Death Star shaft.
All right, so you guys pile onto the elevator. Which way do you want to go? Which way should we go? Down? Yeah, I think we should go down too. So are you going to gesture again, Omar?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
To floor 0.
The guard just slowly, he just sort of shakes his head and just slumps in resignation. And the lift very smoothly starts lowering. So you pass immediately, since you're the bottom of at least of the docking, the possible floors where you could connect with the ship, then immediately you see the floors change. So at first it's just small little walled off areas that it looks like little hallways that surround the elevator shaft with passages that lead off. You're not sure. There's sort of nondescript, hard to tell where anything leads or goes from here. You can't see anything. But the elevator just very smoothly keeps on dropping. And you notice that the temperature starts to noticeably get warmer and warmer as you guys go lower and lower. At one point, you notice that while there is some sort of residual light coming from the inside of the little recesses inside of the actual shaft between floors, the lights on the floors have just disappeared. So your eyes at this point have gotten really adjusted to the dark, but it looks like the floors are just black. So there's like no light down there, floor after floor after floor. The guard at this point is like, he's like rolled into a little, like a ball. And by the time the elevator finally sort of thumps to a stop, he's sort of, like pulled his knees up to his chest, and now he looks like the lady was doing, except he's on his side. He doesn't want to see any part of where this goes. So this lift actually stops. It's as far down. It couldn't be the bottom because there isn't really a bottom.
I assume it goes to a center and then continues up the other side.
You would guess that this is not even the center yet, but this is as far down as this lift goes. And it just lowers you into, it's unsettling right out of the gate. It just lowers you into a black open space. So there's no walls.
Lights
Yeah, you just can't see anything. So you can see just a little from the spill of the red lights in the elevator shaft up above you. So you've got with normal eyes, a good maybe 25 feet. With who has the low light vision? I think the dwarves do.
Yeah.
I thought the elves do too.
Yeah, I got some low light.
I don't know.
So you can see a little further out there, but you just see flat stone. It's about 15-foot space between the floor and the ceiling, and it's just an empty space around you. And the guard is laying there. He's just quivering.
What's it smell like?
So it smells old. It just smells old and dusty, but it doesn't smell gross, and it doesn't smell like sulfur or anything hellish. It just smells old.
We don't have any like little lamps or oil or rags or
I have flint and steel, which makes me feel like I must have,
I breathe
torch.
fire.
I feel like an old game.
do you have a light spell?
I don't know light
Blackie?
spells.
Oh.
Do we have anything?
Here's what I was
Does
thinking.
Gerry have a light thing?
Oh, Jerry's arms and legs glow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But what I was thinking,
I forgot about that.
I want a little light, like the D&D version of a flashlight or one of those little fluorescent things that you snap at a concert. And I want to attach it to this guard, and then I want to send him on his way and tell him to just fucking run as far as I can and watch.
Hey, light his head on fire, and you can push him.
Well, that wouldn't fit my alignment.
No, you do what you want to do, and your alignment will shift accordingly. But Sour Patch over here may not be so into it.
Yeah, Sour Patch.
What are you doing?
If we don't have some way of lighting this guy, there's no reason to do it.
You've got a dragon here, and you've got flint and steel there.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
I'm not going to light. I'm not going to light the guy on fire. That's not happening.
No,
that won't last that long.
I will shoot a blast just to get a look at our surroundings.
Oh, okay, do that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So the blue white gout, and you spray it in a good little fan, making sure not to.
I'm so glad I didn't have to roll for that.
Yeah, making sure you don't light anybody on fire. But it's enough, and it casts your shadows. Your shadows are cast long on the floor, and they flicker as the fire belts out. But you see, it's just enough for you in all directions. This just sort of illuminates right out at the edge of where this light spills. You can see it looks like a parking garage for clockwork units.
Oh, fuck.
So they're just rows and rows of clockwork units sort of slumped over and immobile.
Mechs robot shit.
Oh.
Let's go back up.
But they're slumped over, so is it
They're
possible?
not going to hurt us.
Is it possible to get to another elevator from where we are that would go down further?
You could.
I think that
possibly,
maybe that's what we should try to do.
We haven't seen one human or one collector here.
This place seems completely abandoned.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Scott's grinning.
What were you saying?
I was saying if there's multiple elevators, like how the certain elevators will only go to floors 20 to 50, then
do we have anything we can use as
At
a
a
torch?
nice hotel. Yeah.
You could light a chunk of cloth on fire or something.
Well, Gerry has his hand, so that should. I mean, his
he
glowing
can
arm work
beat
as a
him.
torch.
He can go forward.
So
All
should
right,
we?
So let's try and.
Should we do that to try to get to the center, or do you want to go back up?
Yeah. Let's go to the center.
Let's try to find the tree
As quickly
center.
as we can.
All right. Yeah.
You really freaked out?
Once,
You
Sir
freaked out by
Richard.
dead robots?
Yeah.
For once,
I
Sir
don't like
Richard
those things at all.
agrees wholeheartedly with the Marth. We should probably hustle.
Richard should be
Okay.
very worried about
Let's
those
move.
robots.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this is making me really uncomfortable, says Sir Richard in his perfect voice.
Okay, so
what are we going to do with the hostages? Are we going to drag? At this point, I'm fine. Just
they're coming with us because we need them to control the.
Yeah, drag them
all right. Who's tending hostages then?
I'll fireman's carry her.
Okay,
and then push him along.
Yeah, are you sure you don't want somebody else to?
No, his hands are tied.
I'll keep an eye on him.
He's not going to do anything.
He's going to slow you down a little bit. Are you?
Yeah, but I'll just keep good pushes and.
You're going to just pick him up and.
Wait, his legs are free.
Well, I'm already fireman's carrying her.
Right. Yeah, but if he drags ass,
he's not going to drag ass.
No, okay.
We're going I'm making like a hustle move.
Physically, how encumbered would I be if I threw him over my other shoulder? How much is that going to slow me
What's
down?
your strength?
21.
4.
Yeah,
I think it's 20 or 21.
It's 20, and then
so 20, and that's a 300. That's 300. About 300 pounds. Say he weighs.
I'm 400 pounds.
Say he weighs 180,
7.
and she weighs 120. Well, I mean, yeah, you could lift them.
He'll
you
move,
won't be.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, we can force him. I mean, he's going to move. If it's a problem, then let's pick him up.
Drag him on a piece of cloth or something.
Okay.
I mean, if
I'll intimidate
if it
him
really
into
turns
moving.
into be a problem, then he's on his own. Yeah. Says Sir Richard.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. Oh, really? You're on board?
So, Rich, I'm for once, you and I are in total agreement. Amarth, the barbarian.
Well, let's set this fucker on fire and we'll follow him.
Well, that's where we might not agree. Okay. You hoist the lady up. You pick a direction as closely as you can that's leading in towards the center of this tower, hoping to find another lift because you don't see anything. And using your Sir Richard, I'll roll one of his legs, like his pant legs up, cuff it up, and then unwrap the gauntlet. So you've got this sort of dual torch type thing.
Okay.
And he just gives he looks around, nods at everyone. He's like, all right, everybody ready? All right, 1, 2, 3, and he just starts booking. He picked the agreed upon direction. He just heads out. You're immediately into the clockwork. Robots are a thing? I didn't know robots were a thing for you.
Well, there's a lot of them, and I've seen what they can do.
Yeah. Okay.
Dangerous things are a thing with me.
You're immediately, right in and these are parked like. Almost like this is maybe where they. It seems like where they were.
A thing. I fucking hate robots.
I don't like them either. Big dog.
Not as much as Dave Anthony, but.
Robot after figure after figure. You guys are moving. Sir Richard's holding his Bahamut blessed gauntlet up in front of him to get it's not quite as bright without firing, of course, as your fire breath is, but it's enough to see so you're not going to trip over anything. The guard is he's like he's trying to just focus on who's in front of him. Like, what order is this row?
I think Mildred was right in front of me because she was going to keep an eye on him, right?
So he's just staring right at he doesn't even want to acknowledge that any of this. Yeah, a couple glances over your shoulder, and you just see he's staring at the nape of your neck, just trying to.
But he's not giving me any grief.
Nope.
He's just walking forward.
He's fairly terrified of you, so he's not giving you any sass, but he doesn't. He's just trying to pretend that he's not even here. It looks like.
All right.
You guys are at just under. You're at a push the pace jog, which is about as good as you can go with all things considered. And Sir Richard is saying, he's like, let me know if any of you guys see anything that I don't, but he's just plowing forward. And maybe 15, 20 seconds go by, and you hear behind you the lift sort of activate again. It just rises up, and you see that faint red light that was coming out of the elevator shaft sort of wink out, leaving you now alone in this sort of pool of light and surrounded by like these statuesque figures. Everyone sort of picks up the pace now because it feels
Deadly?
definitely now like you're committed. Because if you had to get back and wait for the elevator and something was going on, it might be a problem. You continue jogging, looking left and right. You can see there's definite blocks. Like this is a huge open area, but there's definitely sort of hallways, almost aisles that have been left open, almost like these are standing in, like military formation, almost like blocks of these things are clustered together. And they're at regular intervals. Behind you, keeping an eye on the guard over your shoulder, Mildred, you see that the small recessed red lights that you guys had passed before have started to come on in the ceiling, in an expanding sort of circle out from where the lift that deposited you here sits. So as you're watching and looking back over your shoulder, you can see, you can't hear it, but it's like the lights are coming on in the room
behind us from where we left.
Yeah, from
fuck.
Well, I think this is a good creepy place to stop.
Yeah, all right.
I just wanted to see if we got to another. Okay.
Oh, we're at an hour. Thanks. What was this, episode 34? What?
A lot of episodes.
Yeah, we've done a bunch. Nerd Poker, Dungeons and Dragons, Brian Posehn, and Friends.
There's been at least 20 good ones.
But keep listening. Thanks, Scott. Or Sark, whatever your name is.
Richard.
See you next week.
This has been an Earwolf Media production. Executive producers Jeff Ulrich and Scott Ackerman. For more information, visit earwolf.com.
Earwolfradio.com